Hey whānau, back with the Wolf, and this time we're in the Tauranga Moana again, and it was a successful trip. Two flounder speared, both yellow bellies, and both sizable. So yeah, my headlamp's kind of dying. The GoPro did die, so I have to actually try and condense this film and insert the pictures at the end when I got back to the car, and I had a table set up there. So I took the pictures after the fact because the GoPro did die. We ran into a sizable kind of, I think it was actually a long finial that's in a previous video, and I saw a big ray. It kind of did scare the shit out of me, to be honest, because there was a lot of stuff in the water, and there's eelgrass. The water was clear, but there was so much garbage in the water, like leaves and everything. It was quite hard to see, and then what I thought was a big patch of eelgrass was actually, it looked like a long-tailed stingray. And I mean, this thing was a whopper. Then when I saw it kind of move and the under flaps, the white, yeah, it gave me a bit of a fright. So out here, when you're floundering, I'm sure some of you know, you can't see, you can only see to the end of your torch beam, and when the light is dying on, I use a headlamp, because when I'm filming, it's really hard to use anything more than that. So even if I've got a GoPro, my GoPro doesn't last that long, and then when it dies, I've only got the phone. So I guess being out here, it is buzzy, you know, I love it. But there are some things to be careful of, and especially solo, you know, spearing. I don't go much past thigh height when I solo spear. I don't really fancy the chances of something large like a shark or something coming in. You know, there's all these paranoid feelings. Chances of it happening are probably zilch, but I'll give you some pointers about what I look for when I'm floundering. What I'm looking for areas like an estuary or a beach where there's a channel, and that channel is deeper water. And what I'm trying to do is, you know, out of the channels, as the seabed kind of rises and gets shallower, the water, that's where you want to kind of flounder. But a lot of the times, as it rises out of the channel, it'll have a bank. And those little banks are where the flounders sit, and they wait to come up on the tide. Now, what you should be looking for is crab burrows, like small crabs. There's a lot of people saying that flounder eat paddle crabs. I don't know, maybe they do, but I really don't think their mouths are big enough. I know they can kind of elongate their mouths like a John Dory, but it's going to have to be a pretty small paddle crab. When I've caught flounder and I've gutted them, basically they eat the small crabs that are present in estuaries and beaches, and you can see their burrows. So the flounder actually goes there and sits there and waits, and when a crab comes out, poof, it'll shoot its mouth out or dart. They can actually swim really fast. They also take small fish like bullies and little rock cod things that float around. Basically, if it's small and it goes past the flounder, it's going to get nailed, and that's why they take lures. So at night, very hard to cast the lure. Obviously, you know, unless it's luminous, the flounder isn't going to see it, so we rely on spearing. And, you know, what I'm looking for is a type of sand, you know, clear sand where they can sit on, like soft with a bit of silt. And eelgrass is also helpful, because if you can understand it, I've actually seen flounder sitting in stingray holes where a stingray has been feeding, or the impression. And why they like eelgrass and ray holes is because they don't want to be a shape on the sand. Okay, their main predator is a shark, and like us, you know, you can see a flounder miles off with a torch if it's just sitting on open sand. So they try and blend in, even around rocks as well. You know, some beaches will have, you know, a scattering of little rocks. You'll usually find the flounder close to those rocks on a beach like that. So if you're going after flounder, I'm just giving you some pointers on what to look for. Eelgrass, rocks, sand with silt, softish sand, not kind of shells and stuff on the bottom. And in saying that, flounder will move across that kind of stuff in search of food, but they're not going to sit there. And what you want is you want flounder that are sitting, because they're very hard to spear when they're moving. At night, when the torch shines on them, like a possum, it actually stuns them and they stay there. But yeah, you want a flounder that's sitting on the bottom, not moving, and hopefully that helps you. I try and spear when the moon is less than half on the way down or up. A full moon it interferes with the headlamp. If you've got one of those underwater spotlights, that's all good. But I'm going to insert the flounder that I caught two, and they were both large yellow bellies, over 40 centimeters, between 40 and 50. And yeah, they're really nice fish. So again, Tauranga Moana, those are the Tauranga port lights in the background, so I'm a long way out, heading down towards Bowentown, where I shot this video. And yeah, like I say, awesome day, awesome night, and you cover a lot of ground with floundering. And just because you don't catch a flounder on that particular day doesn't mean the flounder aren't there. So you got to keep going back, whānau, and you got to go, and the more you go, the better you understand. Peace and love.